Hello, everybody. It's Big Al with some more content for Lord of the Rings Rise to War. It's that time. I need to re gear my commanders for the upcoming mega server that we will be doing, and I will be with Toby again. So, let's take a quick look at what I'm working with. Let's go through my gold gear. Obviously, I wish more. I did good on the chest for winning last season. I got a Noldor sword and a plate of the Citadel in 9 total pools. You're guaranteed 1 gold out of 10. Well, I got 2 in 9, so I'm happy with that. Unfortunately, neither of those will be items that I will be using. So, yeah, that sucks. But they will be used to strengthen. So, first and foremost, I'm going to be running Frodo as my tank, Gandalf the Grey. I'm going to be running Sauron, and he will be Respect 4 before the fighting starts, and Dane. So, first and foremost, I'm going to go for Dane and build him. And I'm very limited on what I can do for my damage dealer. I have the Axe of Khazad-dûm that I can do 3 refines for, or I can do a Blazing Tongue, which I can do 4 refines, but I lose a lot of commander attack. So, generally what I've been running, and it's most likely going to be the same thing. Next, we're going to be doing a Cask of Pride. And I believe it's going to be the Fortitude on the armor. If I want matching sets, I do like the defensive plate on the damage dealer. So it would be either the High Elf Harbok or a Durance plate. As far as commander attack armor, the only ones I have that would work would really be the Berserker's Raiment or a Warborn. And I do not like the Warborn. I do have a Palantir. I have 1. I do not have any more. I have 1 Drums of Barad-dûr. So, and because I do have quite a bit of gold gear, could be more, but I'm going to be matching sets. So, I was looking, and I know I don't have an axe in agility. Lord of Arcane and upkeep doesn't help for the Berserker's Raiment. The Warborn, I do have a might and an evasive Blazing Tongue, but again, I'd be losing a lot of commander attack going that way. Plus, the defense for my units. So, most likely, that's what it's going to be like. And that's been the same setup I've had for like 4 or 5 seasons. Gandalf the Grey is not going to be as important to me. He's pretty much going to be a dummy commander. So, my thought process is I'm going to have Frodo tank. And my job, as it has been forever, I'm going to cause draws. I'm going to slow down the enemy. I'm not going to kill anybody because it's going to be a server full of whales and krakens. So I need my Frodo to be stronger than I've built him prior seasons. Prior seasons I've just had purple on him because he does perform well with purple against the average player up to smaller whales. Also, I'm going to be running Sauron for the debuff. So, my overall thought is Frodo's going to tank. Frodo and Gandalf the Grey can, hopefully, I can steer the madness and stuns at them because they're really useless. Frodo tanks, he's going to take the damage. Gandalf the Grey is going to cast White Council and probably the dual blows. off the start, but after that, they're really not needed much. Sauron is going to be there for the debuffs, and I'm hoping a little bit of madness, some stuns, and then Dane can be able to do a little bit extra damage, since Frodo will have higher survivability. So, with that being said, I do have some of the best in slot gold gear for him, but unfortunately not the best set effects. So I have the Reckoning, Upkeep, Lord of Arcane, Perseverance. Well, none of them really do anything for him, but at least with Perseverance I might get a little damage out of my tank unit. Then, if you go through here, I do have a Herod Cask. So I'm going to put that. Here I have the Durin's Plate. I could do a Divide and Conquer, but I don't have anything to match it unless I go back to purple gear. But I can match the Perseverance there. And then here, I'm going to have to use purple. But I don't have any thick armor Drums of Moria except inside of the Fortitude. So I will have to hammer that down and get that drums out so I can switch set effects. Which is not a big deal because, as you can see, I have a bunch of drums already built with miscellaneous set effects. So there's that. I can get 2 refines on the Reckoning, 2 on the Herod Cask, which gives me about an extra, I think it's 48 total, 48 or 54, something like that, command compared to all purple. Plus I will gain an extra 40 unit defense, 50 unit defense, something like that. Sauron. Because my Sauron's going to be so weak and small, respect for, I have to have him running faster than some of the whales and krakens because I need him to debuff them before they debuff me. So I am going to be running just items that have initiative. Hopefully I can get some set effects. The 3 that have initiative is the Reach of the Red Mark, the Obsidian Dagger, but you only get 1 compared to 2 initiative with that and that at base level. And the Sandclaw being the 3rd. So I'm going to be using the Sandclaw because of the set effect. Stats are more important than the set effects. Okay, I'm doing this at a calculated adjustment because, again, I need speed first and foremost. I need the initiative. I'm going to want to match defensive set effects on him because, again, he's just going to be taking damage. He's only there to do the debuffs and cause madness. So I have the High Off Hallbach, and I also have a Call of the Forest. I love the Call of the Forest. Now we go here. We have the Berserker's Raiment that has initiative. We also have the Tracker Plate that has initiative. Or we have a Scout's Mail that has initiative. And Scout's Mail gives the least. And yes, I've already looked through a lot of this. So on here we have the Ring that has initiative. We have the Box of Knowledge, and then we have the Mirror's Reins that has initiative, which I will be running the Reins because it gives me command, it gives me unit defense. I will get a little bit of focus from the Scout's Mail and the Call, but every item will give me some initiative. So when they're, and I'll have command from the helmet and the reins. So I'll have some speed. So hopefully I can just make sure that I'm faster than most of the enemies. Because again, Frodo's just going to be there to tank. Hopefully he can absorb enough damage, debuff the enemy, Dane do a little bit, take a decent chunk out of them, and Gandalf's there for White Council. And because he is going to be just wasted as White Council, and I'm limited on my gold gear, he's going to end up having purple gear. I'm going to make the bone mask. I think it's thick armor. And then here was a hunter skin. And here I'm going to give him a gold pipe because that is best in slot for focus, amount of focus as well. So, Frodo will be tanking. He will have a 2-piece thick armor, 2-piece perseverance. Sauron's going to be all speed. He's going to have divide and conquer and thick armor. Gandalf will have divide and thick armor. And Dane will have the fortitude and power overwhelming. I'm also hoping to be running Woes Hunters on Dane. It's another reason I don't have to worry about his speed. And it's also another way that I hope to help direct the stuns and the madness at Frodo and Gandalf the Grey, because they will be acting after Dane. Because the Woes Hunters give initiative. So, I think that's what I'm going to be doing for my main. My B team, who knows what it's going to be. Could be Falcon and Boromir. Let's see, Falcon, Boromir, Sauron, and Gimli. That might be a decent one. So, but, and I got Shadow. Damn. I really want to work Shadow in too, because Shadow's a beast. Great at killing enemy White Council. He also has a skill to regain commander attack. And probably 70% of armies out there are going to have some kind of debuff, whether it's Sauron or Witch King. At least with this skill, I can regain some of my commander attack and be able to do a little bit more damage. So, I don't know. He might go into the second army. Him, Gimli, him, and Sauron. Not quite sure. So, let's start building. And I'm just going to bite the bullet and just start building. First and foremost, let's get the refining done. That's what I like to do, is the ones that I know that I'm going to refine, I try to get that stuff done first. Herod Cask will get 2 refines. I'm not worried about rebuilding the Drums of Moria yet. I'll do that off camera because don't need to waste your time with that. But this is the one thing that I'm still curious. I have doubts about. 3 refined Axe of Khazad-dûm or 4 refined Blazing Tongue. And I would get... I would lose some commander attack. I would have to put a Warborn here. Probably with Might. Not sure what to do, guys. I'll come back. Let me finish doing this stuff. I am going to go ahead and refine this, which I really don't need for Gandalf the Grey. But I am refining it so that it's done for when I switch this gear to a B team. Let's say I put Saruman in there for my B team. I have the weapon there. Because I like to be ready for all circumstances. And I don't have enough gold gear to take care of everything. Sandclaw, I could refine once, but really there's no point. I mean, compared to a Sandclaw, even going to my B team with the Saruman, I'm going to use a Carver over a Sandclaw that's refined once. I'm not worried about the initiative there. So, I won't refine that. The Call of the Forest will be refined. Yeah, how's this? I got 5 Call of the Forest total, and 3 of them are the beast toughness. Okay, at least I'm getting some command on him. I got the Mirror's Reigns. I got 2 of those. Get a little bit more command. And also, when you are doing gear, sometimes refining is more important, sometimes strengthening is more important. So it's just my experience on what I want to do with my army is why I know which items I want to refine first and not really save for strengthening. I would get a lot less commander attack. Let's see. I think I would get 22 at 4 stars, I think it is, compared to, what is it, 40 at 4 stars? And that's a big difference. But if I were to go to the Blazing Tongue, I would get probably 8 or 10 back from the Warborn. I would get 5% physical damage. Frodo's going to be tanking his heart out. Do have the 2-piece fortitude. But if I don't, if I keep the Khazad Dûn, that gives me a couple extra pieces for strengthening as well. Because all 3 of these are going to have... Yeah, I'm going to go with Khazad Dûn. I know that's probably the smart play. But again, I'm just thinking with Dane being the only damage dealer, I want to get that little extra damage output. And I think 11 to 24, I think it's 11 to 26 or 10 to 26 or something like that for the Blazing Tongue with 4 refines. But again, I would have lost a bunch of stuff. I will come back later and do the refining for the hit points, because I will need some of that, because I don't have another Elf Hawk, I don't have another Palantir. Okay, now let's start building. Okay, first and foremost, because I'm doing the damage weapon, I am going to put other damage weapons in here. That way, if I ever need them, I only have to use 1 hammer. So I'm going to use the Blazing Tongues. Like I said, I'm going to get it to 4 stars. Okay, so I got two extra. I got two crow hooks that I might as well put in here. I might as well unlock that while I'm here. Okay. Now, there's these. I'm going to get this 2 stars. Let's put the elven white knives in here because I know I'll never use those. Okay, so let's just look at this right here. Compared to a purple cutlass, as you can see, it's an extra 38 command and it's an extra 9 unit defense just right there alone. Let's go ahead and strengthen this. I'm going to use that. I'm just going to get these two stars each for now. I'll undo that one. I don't have just 3 of something. Okay, the golden skin and the elven cloak will go in here. Okay, so let's take and compare. We already did this, so that would be 38 extra command, extra 9 unit defense. Now we go here, extra 14 command and extra 4 unit defense. Now we go here, we have 1 extra unit defense. And then this will be the same. So I did get some improvements on him just at the 2 stars. So now we got that. I'm going to go ahead and start strengthening him. I'm going to get his helmet up to 3 stars. I got 3 iron bassinets. I got 5 of those Easterlings. Okay, I'm going to use this in the Easterlings. So just a reminder, I'm putting same items inside of pieces. That way, if I ever do want the Easterling helmets, I can just get them all out with one hammer. It's a good method to do when you can. So in here I am going to, see, I got 4 of those, 4 of those, 5. Oh. Okay, let's start with the Berserker's raiment. Okay, what do I have 2 of? The Great Plate of the East. Why not? Okay, and then I'm going to go here and I'm going to get 3 stars here. Let's see, who else has? Both of them have the accessories. So I got 3 accessories. And let's see, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 22 items. So let's start with 23 items. So we might as well start here. And I need 5 more because I'm going to get 3. 3 there, 3 there, 4 there. I'll use the box of knowledges, and then there's a single piece up top. That Night Star I'll put in here. Okay. So, Dane definitely doesn't have enough commander attack. So, if I have the extra pieces, he's the first one to get it on a helmet or an accessory. There's that. There's that. Now let's go here. And again, I want the initiative. So I want to get him at least 3 stars, so that's 6 pieces. 4, 5. I got 5 by. Now I'm going to do it right here. Morgul Blade and the 5 Bow of the High Elves. Okay. Now let's go to the helmets. I'm going to put the 5 Swan Helms in here to start. And then I have the gray hat for the single. Maris Reigns, same thing. I'm going to put the Kabashes and the Defenders in here. Ooh, do I have a single? I'm leaving the Drums of Barad-dûr out as long as possible. No, not the Defenders. I will do the 3 belts. Just in case I need it for one of the other damage dealers for the B team or whatever. So, I'm getting 4 initiative there. I'm getting 4 there. I'm getting 4 there. And I will end up getting 3 here because that will be maxed out. So I will add 2 more, so he'll be at 44 plus whatever unit I use. So that's a good speed for me. We got him at 2 stars. We got him there. I need to get a couple stars on here because I need the focus. 3, let's see. But I really need more there, so I'm going to do the 2 fiddles. And I am going to do the ring. And I'm just going to leave it at that for now. And then I will build the purple gear later off camera. So I got 3 stars across the board on the gold for Sauron. I got 4, 3, 3, and 3. I have 2, 2, and 2. So first and foremost, let's get him some more attack. I got 5. You know what? I'm going to put the ring, that, and that in here. Okay, so I'm done with the accessories. I do not have enough accessories to do anything else. I could do 1 more star on the gold pipe, but I'd rather keep the Drums of Barad-dûr out and the harp for, say, like the B team or whatever, if I'm going to do tiles or mobs or whatever. A couple less things to have to move around. let's go here. And the next one is 5. I need 5 of something, so I can do, see, if I do a refine, that's 1, 1, 2, and then I could put that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to refine this twice so I can get some extra HP. I'm going to strengthen it one more time with the Hunter's Guides and 2 of these. And I still have 2 more if I want to refine it one more time. So I'm at 190. I'm not really liking that. I'm really not liking that. I'm only at 190. One more just gets me 8 on each. But that's 8 gold pieces. I mean, I could throw scale mill in there, but then I lose my unit defense. And that's if I even have one to match. It's power overwhelming, which in theory I'm going to. It's funny, I looked through them earlier, the hunter skin for a certain set effect, divide and conquer, and I couldn't find one of those either. Are you kidding me? I don't have a power overwhelming scale mail? I have so many, but yet, how do I not have a power overwhelming scale mail? Okay. Well, I could change this to one of these, or the sharp. I know I got the scale mail on that, and I wouldn't have to even use a hammer because I have one built already. But then, wow. Then what do I do with this? And I still have a lot of these left. I don't know. Gives me the 205. Then I have those two. And I can put, what would I have on here? I don't have anything with thick. Would have this with evasive, but I don't have anything to match it. Here I could go with, what's inside of this? The great plates. Could put the great plate onto Sauron. Do I have one of these bone masks with power overwhelming? Doesn't look like it. Again, stats are more important than side effects, but because I have so much gear, I should try to match it if I can. I don't have the power overwhelming of that either. I bet you there's one in here somewhere. And I don't know if people already realize this, but I did already break down all my gold gear at the end of last season with all my seasonal hammers, so that I was working with a clean slate when I did it here. There's pros and cons to each way that I'm thinking about going. Wow, I don't have a power overwhelming bone mask. Shit, I could do that. I know I got a flay of that. I remember seeing it somewhere. Yeah, right there. But he's pretty. If I do that though, I get the over 200 plus the sharp blade, so it would put me at 215, which is a lot better number. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end up rehammering this and rebuilding it into the sharp blade. Glad I didn't go with the blazing tongue, because that would have been a lot less. Okay. There's that. Let me finish everything else and then I will go. I'm going to do the flay of that. I'm going to do a flay of this, which doesn't really help Gandalf except for his normal attacks, because flay damage ignores 8% of the target's defense. And if you click on defense, defense is the ability to resist physical damage. So normal attacks for commanders come out as physical, except for Galadriel when you use her, is it Lady of Lorien skill, when it gets to 5 points, switches all attacks to focus. But other than that, everybody else's normal attacks are physical. And then you have the normal attacks of your units, which would be physical as well. Because I have way too much gold armor to only have it on one player. Because, look, I don't need to max this out. I could 3, then 5, then 8, and I would still have 10 things left over, which I don't need to do. So, yep, there's nothing like messing up and having to change it on the fly. So, I'm going to hammer this down. I'm going to hammer this down. And then the rest of these are just fine. So I might as well start strengthening this. I will use the mithril coats. And the only reason I'm doing this is to get the extra focus for Gandalf. Plus, if I switch his gear later to, say, Saruman, if I'm using him in my B team, that works. Okay, and then I'm going to strengthen this. I'm going to get this to 4 stars before I do anything else. I need 3 and 5, that's 8. I have 5 of those. I got 4 of those. I got 4 of those, and I got 4 of those. So I'm going to put the tracker plates and the Ranger's Shroud inside of the Durin's plates. Tracker's plates, Ranger's Shrouds. Okay, and that's going to help Frodo a lot. So, I still have this though. What's all in here? Yeah, so I'm going to have to hammer that down because I don't want to lose those items. So there's what, 6 in there plus that, that's 7, 8, 9, 13, 17, 18, 19. So this is 4, that is 3, 5, 13. So I can get Frodo's to 5 stars, and I can get his to 4 stars. And then I'll have an extra couple pieces. I know people are probably saying, well, why don't I put the Berserker's Raiment on him? That would get him some extra. Yes, it would get me some extra commander attack and initiative, but I'm not worried about the initiative because the plan is I'm going to have Woes Hunters on him, and he gains initiative. Wow, I don't think I've ever messed up like this. Okay, so I need to hammer down the axe and switch it to sharp blade. And I need to hammer down the elf hawbuck, but I'm going to wait on that until I have a seasonal hammer. So let's hammer the axe. I'll hammer that down, switch it. Can't believe I messed up like that. But it's a good thing that I'm doing this inside of Bag End. And I hate that gold items are automatically locked. They should come unlocked, and it would be our choice if we want to lock them. Come on. Okay, now I'm going to get strengthen it to 4 stars. I'm going to use the worn out material. Oh, that was stupid. Strengthen. What all did I put in here before? Oh, I had all the blazing tongues in here. Yeah. Oh. Huh. Yeah, that would have helped. 3. The blazing tongues. Okay. There's that. Okay, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to hammer down Frodo's. I'm going to strengthen the purple pieces, and then I will come back and finish doing the gold. That way you all can see the final changes. Okay, I am back. I finished upgrading the purple. Now let's finish the gold and we will look at the final results. So first I want to get another star on here, which I am going to use these 3. I am going to get another star on the sand claw, so I get another point of initiative. So I need 5 things. So I'm going to use the Obsidian Dagger and the 4 thorns, Mirkwood Thorns. Okay. So how many gold? Let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have 11 things left. So I can either make Frodo's a 5-star or 4-star, or I can make Dane or Sauron Sandclaw. I want the damage, so I'm going to make this 4 stars. So let's go through. We'll put that. We'll put the black bow. We'll put the reach of the Riddermark and that, and we need, let's see, I need 4 more, so I'm going to do these 4. I know you're thinking that, hey, maybe I didn't need to use that purple gear on Dane because I made this 5 stars, but I did because then it gave me more things. It gave me another star here, it gave me more versatility. Okay, so now let's look at the armor. I only have gold armor on Frodo and Gandalf the Grey. And let's see, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 10s because I might as well use the refine. Get some more HP, which I'm going to need because I will be taking lots and lots of damage. Okay. So now I have 10 plus what's inside of here, which is another 6 pieces plus the elf hawk itself. So 7, so that's 17. So I can actually make Frodo's 5 stars and Gandalf's 4 stars. Let's make Gandalf's. I got the cloaks in there. Okay. Let's make this 4 stars to start with. And then I need 4 pieces, which would be these Warborns. Okay. So, there we go. And I have 5 Plate of the Citadels and this elf hawk left. So, I got a total of 12 things. And I could make one of those 4 stars, or I can leave this and use this on my B team. I think I'm going to leave it for now. So, accessories. We only have 3 accessories left, which I will leave because I want that Drums of Barad-dûr for the B team. Helmets. Let's see. We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total helmets left. So, I definitely 3 and 5. So I can actually make this 4 stars and make this 3 stars or make this 4 stars. Let's get this to 3 stars to begin with. Okay. Now I can make one of these 2 4 stars. Or I can leave it as it sits. Let's go in and take a look at the commanders now and see what their stats look like. It's a lot of back and forth when you're doing gear, especially when I'm trying to do it so complicated. So he's got 213 attack plus the 10 sharp. So he'll be sitting at 223, which is nice. If I face a Sauron and I don't act first, I'm looking at minus 20%. So that would be 42. Minus 42 off of 223 would still be 181, right? Yeah, 181. Which I can deal with that. Now, if my Sauron acts first, and say I reduce their Sauron, I'm still going to be losing like 17%. instead of 21, 22% in theory. So that would be 34. He's at 223 minus 34. So he'd still be sitting at 189, 190. Okay, I can live with that. Frodo, 366 command. And let's add up his unit defense. 30, 28, that's 58. And 30, that's 88. And 18 is 106. Now, if he had all purple gear, I said 106, right, guys? If he had all purple gear, by me adding the gold, he's gaining 52 command. And then, let's see, 15, 18, that's 33. 18 is 51, 69. So he's also gaining an extra, say, 47 unit defense and 52 command. So I'm happy with that. That will definitely help him tank better. But I think let's see. I think I want to get another star out of him though on his helmet. Let's take a look at Sauron first. Okay, Sauron's got 114 focus. And on here, the modification is 3. Yep, 3 per 100. So he's looking at another 3%. So I will still get an 18% reduction, which I'm not too worried about. Because even without any modification, 15% is huge. Because if you have 200 attack, that's minus 30 attack on somebody. Damage received, I think this is 3 as well. Yep, 3. So they're getting an extra 13%. Okay, I can live with that. And then he's also got some extra initiative. He's got 5, 4, that's 9, 3, that's 12, and 4, that's an extra 16 initiative. Could have just clicked there. But I was also checking unit defense. He's got a little bit from there, and he's got a little bit from there. I wish he had more hit points. Can I refine this more? Not at the moment unless I use this one to refine it. Which might be because I want him to have a little bit higher hit points. Wish he had higher hit points too. And there's Gandalf, where I'm just going to round it and say 200 focus. If you look at White Council, he gets 20 per 100. So I'm just going to round and say an extra 40%. So he's going to be doing minus 58% reduction for the first 7 instances of damage. Which is nice because let's look at Dane. He also has a Fortitude, which has an extra 5% of physical damage. Okay, plus his defense. His defense is up there. Sauron, same thing. He's got the Divide and Conquer. He's got an extra 10 from the thick armor. He's got an extra thick armor. Extra 10. So, yeah, I think I'm okay with what I've done. Again, Frodo will be tanking. Sauron will be debuffing. Gandalf will help with damage reduction. And Dane is just going to try to do what Dane does. And as you can see, he has the most hit points, which is good. Hopefully, if I can get the Woes Hunters on him, that also means that he acts first. And from what I've found on my testing, with him acting first and everybody else slower, in theory, other players, Saurons, are going to be slower than Dane. Well, are going to be faster than their other commanders. So, with me having the 3 commanders, or 2 commanders acting after their Sauron, at least, hopefully those are the ones that are targeted. Yes, it does say random, but there is a pattern in the randomness that I've found through my testing. So, Okay, there's my final armor. Frodo looking good. Sauron's got some speed to him, thankfully. Gandalf's got just enough focus to help with the White Council. He's not going to be doing any damage. You know, I do get a little unit attack there. And then I do have some more damage reduction for him and command with his relic. And he's looking at minus 26% from his command. So that's going to be looking nice. Because he'll be running great beasts. I know they're expensive, but that's what I like to run on Frodo. So, I hope you guys have made sense out of some of my rambling. What I have done. You see what I have prioritized. And again, stats are more important than set effects. And I set my Sauron up this way. I'm not looking for the focus, I'm looking for the initiative. And it happens to be that I am getting a little bit of focus from his weapon, helmet, and armor. But I love the Call of the Forest. And I can make something one more 5 stars. If I get this, I get to 5 initiative. I get an extra 2 defense. I get 3 focus. If I go to him and I make his 4 stars, I'm getting an extra 7 unit defense. I don't know. I'm going to have to make that call when I see what the Great Beasts have on their defense, because I don't remember their base stat on unit defense. What did I say? Like 106 or something like that? 58, 88. Yeah, 106. I don't remember what Great Beast stat is for their base defense. Okay, well, I think this is the best that I can do with what I have. I will be swapping my gear from my A to my B team. I mean, I will have purple gear to fill in certain things. Because, like, if I make Falgan my tank on my B team, he can take all of Frodo's gear. Boromir would be the support on my second team, which he needs command. As you can see, I wouldn't really be using Sauron's gear. I really wouldn't be using Gandalf's gear on Boromir. So I would probably just fill that in with my extra command gear that I have. Run him as a second tank / support. Get some more attack out of him. Saruman can split. I can use a carver on Saruman. The helmet from Sauron. I can use the armor from Gandalf the Grey and the pipe. So if I did that, Saruman would have a two-piece divide and conquer with the protection of Numenor and with the call of the forest and the pipe. He would have a divide. He would have the flay for the protection of Numenor, which I could make a flay carver for Saruman. And then Shadow or Gimli in my B team will just take Danes. So as you see, I like to have versatility in my gear so I can flip and use different commanders for different teams. Mainly I will only be fighting with my A team. My B team, I will be very selective on the fights that I take. Like I'll be trying to picking off siege or finishing an army that somebody else has already hit, or causing a draw if I know I can. Tiles. Then there'll be a C team that will just do mobs and tiles. So that's what my setup will be. So, okay, I'm happy with that. A little bit longer video than I expected. A couple different struggles that I had. So, And also he can automatically start with that. So, because he would take everything from Frodo. Yeah, okay, I'm good with that. So, as you can see, there's a process. I hope, again, you can make some sense of my rambling. So, as always, make the most out of what you got.